Morning Date. Welcome to another edition of Morning Date when we get to meet the amazing figures from all walks of life. And today's no exception as I have the pleasure of sitting down with an incredibly talented man, violinist Danny Koo. Hello, Danny.
Hi.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Well, thank you very much for coming to our studio today.
Thank you for having me. I was here last year for the first time, and I'm thrilled to be back. Really thrilled.
자, 그럼 먼저 모닝 스페셜을 듣고 계시는 모든 분들께 would you like to say hello to all the listeners?
Hello, listeners of Morning Date. Thank you for tuning in.
네, 항상 밝은 데니 구 씨와 함께하는 모닝 데이트 많은 기대를 해주시기 바랍니다. You know, I've met a lot of violinists, and I don't know. Many people say that the artists usually tend to follow the instrument, and for a lot of violinists, they're very sensitive and sensible. And but you seem like a very bright guy.
I guess I mean, in order to be a musician, I think you need a certain level of sensitivity.
Yes.
But I think in my regular life, I'm pretty bright and pretty outgoing and fairly loud, I suppose.
제가 만나본 바이올리니스트 중에서는 가장 밝은 성격을 갖고 계신 아티스트이신 것 같아요. 왜 사람들이 주로 그 사람의 성격이 악기를 따라간다 이런 얘기를 들었었거든요. 네, 그래서 뭐 첼로나 아니면 뭐 더블 베이스나 이렇게 저음을 연주하는 사람들은 좀 이렇게 푸근한 성격이고, 네, 그에 비해서 이렇게 바이올린 아니면 플루트 같이 이렇게 고음을 많이 내는 경우 같은 데는 좀 사람들이 예민하고 그리고 상당히 뭐랄까 이렇게 세밀하고 세심하고 이런 것 같은데 데니 씨는 제가 만나뵌 바이올리니스트 중에서 가장 성격이 호탕하고 좋아 보이는.
아유, 감사합니다. 사실 어렸을 때부터 제 아빠가 맨날 이렇게 말해줬어요. 그 데니는 나중에 크면서 you have to be human first and then an artist second. So you have to be an incredible person so that your music is also incredible.
How does a kid understand that?
I didn't until recently, I guess. Yeah.
네, 먼저 인간이 되라. 먼저 좋은 사람이
완전
되라.
좋죠.
네,
아빠 똑똑한 것 같아요.
네.
오케이.
아니 그런데 그 말의 의미를 알아들을 수 있는 어린 아이가 몇 명이나 될까요? Yes, it's really important in all walks of life, in all fields of life. Some people might be a great, I don't know, technician or a great artistic performer, but are they actually good as a person? I think that's an arguable question.
Right.
So it's a different thing.
Right, sure.
네. 그래서 정말 뛰어난 아티스트가 되고 그리고 뛰어난 연주자가 되고 뛰어난 기술자가 될 수 있지만 그런 사람들이 모두 좋은 사람이다라고 이렇게 우리가 동격화시키기는 좀 힘들지 않을까 이런 생각이 들었습니다. Okay, then as a violinist, well, you seem quite young still, but how long have you been playing the violin?
So I guess now I've been playing in Korea I'm 28, and so 22 years then, since I started when I was 6.
네, 정말 28살인데 연주한 지 22살 돼, 22년 됐대요. 6살 때부터.
네.
So how big is your violin when you start playing it at a 6-year-old level?
Oh, it was
tiny.
No, it was tiny. It's 1/4 size. So
there's a smaller version
it's called,
of the violin?
Yes, so there's a quarter size, and then there's a half size, and then there's a 3/4, and then finally, when you've grown enough, then you get the full size.
So there's like divided into 4 different shapes and sizes. 네, 바이올린이 크기가 4종류로 나는데요. 그래서 지금 바이올린을 4등분 하시면 될 것 같습니다. 4분의 1 크기, 반 크기, 4분의 3 크기. 그래서 어른이 되면 우리가 알고 있는 바이올린을 연주하게 되는데, so you have to be at least, I don't know, maybe 17 or 18 to play the actual sized violin.
Maybe. I feel like a lot of students start to switch to the full size earlier because the spacing is a little different, and you want to get used to the full size spacing earlier.
Yeah.
And so it really 그때 다른데요. Usually like maybe 13, 14, 15, pretty early.
네. 6살 때는 조그만 바이올린. 그거 구경해봤으면 좋겠는데 너무 귀여울 것 같아요.
완전 큐트해요.
It would look cute. 그런데 아무래도 그 바이올린은 손가락을 잡는 그 위치 이런 것들이 간격의 차이가 있기 때문에 빨리 익숙해지려고 13살, 14살쯤이면 벌써 큰 사이즈의 바이올린을 연주하게 된다고 합니다. So for a 6-year-old, I'm sure that it was a bit difficult for a 6-year-old to decide what instrument he or she is going to play for the rest of your life.
Sure.
So I guess, was it your parents that actually introduced the violin?
No, actually, speaking of that, I didn't really decide to become a violinist until later on in my life. And so in the beginning, actually, my uncle is a violist.
Oh.
And so I think when he would come and visit us, our home, I would always hear him practicing, and I told my mom I want to play that. And so my parents started me on the violin, and then I just kind of stuck with it.
Oh.
Yeah.
네. 비올라면은 음색이 이거보다는 한 단계 낮을 텐데.
그쵸.
네.
그쵸.
그러니까 삼촌이 비올라 연주를 하시는 분이셔서.
네.
삼촌이신지 작은 아버지신지 아무튼.
네.
네. 그분이 연주하시는 거 듣고 그 소리가 좋아서 바이올린을 시작하게 됐다.
네.
그런데 이제 비올라로 바꾸지 않고
네.
바이올린을 계속 연주하게 됐다고 하는데요. So when you get fascinated with the sound on the instrument, but you still have to practice. And for a 6-year-old kid to practice an instrument, I don't know. I think to become as good as you would at least have to practice every day for a certain amount of hours. So how much have you been practicing?
I guess, they say in order to become a professional something, you need 10,000 hours. I'm sure I've done that. And in the beginning, I think I was really lucky because my parents never pushed me to become a professional musician. They were actually...
You can't push that to a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and so practicing was always just playing the instrument. It was never really practicing for me. And so I think I had fun with it from a young age. And then after I really decided that this was going to be my life...
How old were you then?
It was right before the senior year of high school. So I guess I was just turning 17. So it's actually really late. But before that, I had so many other interests. But then after I decided that this was going to become my life, I kind of just went head first, and I've never looked back ever since.
네. 그래서 17살 때부터 아마 나는 이 악기를 평생 연주하게 될 것이다. 연주하고 싶다라는 생각이 강력하게 들었다고 하는데요. So you've never given a chance for any other instruments? Like I know people start off with a piano.
Right.
Usually.
So I do play like very little piano, and I actually played trumpet for 12 years.
Oh.
And I played in the jazz bands in high school, and I love playing the trumpet because I think it's a very loud instrument.
Yeah.
And I'm very loud, and so it kind of just worked out that way. But yeah, so I have tried other instruments, and even now I like to dabble with more and more piano, with composition, with guitar, with other things, and so. But my love is with the violin.
네. 이렇게 자신이 사랑하는 그런 음색과 악기를 빠른 시기에 찾아내는 것도 큰 복인 것 같다는 생각이 들어요. So I guess maybe you've had some musical backgrounds in your family. At least your uncle was deeply involved.
Right.
How about the other members in the family?
So my mom played piano until she went to high school because I guess in Korea she had to make a decision whether to go to a music school or kind of go to just a normal academic school. And so both my parents are actually chemists.
Oh, okay, very different.
Yeah, but my mom always loved music. She never let go of music. And so when I started playing the violin at a young age, I used this program called Suzuki method. And my mom would always, starting from Twinkle, always like accompany me from the beginning. And so as I was going through the Suzuki books and getting better, she was also getting better with me. And so now she plays the organ for the Sangade, and my dad sings. My aunt is actually a professional pianist.
Oh.
And my grandfather on my mom's side was a music teacher.
네.
And so
You've had some.
so I guess there is music.
Influences.
Yeah.
네, 부모님께서는 화학자라고 하셨는데,
네,
하지만 음악에 대한 열정과 이런 연습을 게을리하지는 않으셨네요.
네.
그래서 확실히 이런 가족적인 분위기가 큰 도움이 되지 않았을까 이런 생각이 듭니다. So I guess together with the instrument, you were very much falling in love with classical music. But don't teenagers usually listen to rock, rap?
Right. Sure. I love all sorts of music, but for me, classical music has the most satisfying, and it requires almost the most patience in a way as a listener, especially if it's your first time really diving into classical music.
Yes.
But really, if you start to kind of take a break and just start to listen to classical music, it'll really move you, and I think it's really life-changing music.
네.
And so I love it.
네. 이 클래식 음악을 사람들이 나는 클래식 안 좋아해 이렇게 얘기하는 사람들이 간혹가다 있잖아요. 근데 그건 제가 생각해도 제대로 한번 못 들어봤기 때문에
네.
제대로 듣지 않았기 때문에 저런 이야기를 하는 것이 아닌가
네.
이런 생각이 들어요. 이 클래시컬 뮤직이라는 것은 어떤 나라나 어떤 문화에 국한되지 않고 전 세계인들이 이렇게 사랑하는 그런 음악인데 그런 데는 이유가 있거든요.
네.
그래서 우리가 아마 들어보면 언어가 없어도 뭔가 인간이라면 함께 느낄 수 있는 그런 감동의 울림을 주기 때문에
맞아요. 그거 말 너무 좋아요.
네.
사실 이거 조금 홍보해도 돼요?
예,
사실
하세요.
한국에서 제가 강의를 3번 해요.
네.
근데 첫 번째 강의가 사실 딱 이거예요. 클래식 음악의 힘.
음.
이걸 딱 말씀하신 것처럼 그걸 얘기하고 있는 거예요. 그러니까 클래식 음악은 사실 가사가 없고 사람이 듣는 사람마다 자기만의 스토리를 만들 수 있는 그런 힘이 있잖아요. 그래서 그런 얘기예요. 사실 강의가. 그렇다고요.
네. 알겠습니다.
많이 와주세요.
네, 이 정도로 홍보가 됐는지는 잘 모르겠습니다만 네, 아마 인터넷상으로 데니 구하시면 이게 어떤 강인지 정확히 더 자세히 나올 것 같습니다. 네, 약간의 지금 갑작스러운 뜬금없는 홍보 타임이 있었는데요. 그렇다면 더 이야기를 나누기 전에 사실 데니 씨가 아주 아름다운 그 바이올린을 지금 이 스튜디오에 들고 오셨어요.
네.
그래서 저희에게 그 선율을 직접 들려주신다고
오케이.
하는데 So would it be okay if we asked you to play a song for us?
Absolutely.
And what song would it be?
So I was thinking, because this is morning date, there's this beautiful song by this Mexican composer named Ponce, and it's called Estrellita. And what Estrellita means is my little star. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy.
네, 자 멕시코의 작곡가 폰스의 에스트렐리타, 작은 별이라는 뜻이래요. 그 제목의 곡을 직접 연주를 해주신답니다. 그러면 이 스튜디오에 저희 둘이 있으니까 박수 치면서 네.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
감동.
My little star.
네, 순식간에 갑자기 정신을 차리게 되는. 네. My little star. 네, 너무나 아름다운 이게 바로 오리지널, authentic 귀호강이 아닌가 네, 생각합니다. Being able to listen that directly, like live in front of yourself, is definitely a treat, and I've gotten this treat
Thank you so much.
this morning. Oh, thank you very much. That was really beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
네, 저희 감동의 도가니에서 제가 정신을 차리기 전에. I think I would have to ask you for another favor. I know that a lot of people are just listening to our show right now, and we've got a lot of prizes to give out to them. So to determine who's going to win the prize, we have a small quiz that we would like to give our listeners. So, would you like to please do the honors of giving out the quiz to our listeners?
Great. So here is the quiz.
네.
The violin and the contrabass belong to the group known as beep instruments. 1. Expensive. 2. String. Or 3. Sad.
네. Once again, can you please repeat the question?
The violin and the contrabass belong to the group known as beep instruments. 1. Expensive. 2. String. Or 3. Sad.
네, 사실 생각해 보면 이 모든 예문들이 I think they all can make sense, but we're looking specifically for the most commonly known answer. 네, 정답을 알고 계신다면 저희 인터넷 게시판을 이용해 주셔도 되고요. 짧은 문자는 50원, 긴 문자는 100원인 샵 1045번 반디 게시판 혹은 카카오톡 플러스로 정답 보내주시기 바랍니다. 정답 맞춰주신 분들 중 저희가 추첨을 통해서 좋은 선물을 보내드리도록 하겠습니다. 근데 뭐 그 선물 이외에도 지금 귀가 호강하는 아름다운 네, 선물을 받고 계신데요.